Welcome to Ports and Palaces podcast. It is August 19th, and today we are going to be talking all about the D23 Expo announcements.
Yeah, there was a lot. So we are just going to kind of hit the highlights. We're not going to go through every single thing they talked about, but just some things that we feel were big announcements that we want to talk about.
Let's start off with some of the smaller announcements. We have Lorcana expansions coming out. Of these expansion packs, you have set 13, which is Attack of the Vine, which is out currently. Hyperia City is set number 14. This comes out on October 23rd. Coco debuts, as well as the new Ink Drop mechanic. Into the Ink Dark, which is set 15, comes in Q1 of 2027 with Villains and Onward. Cosmic Quest comes as set 16, which is space-themed, which is interesting. I think some of the design art I saw showed Ariel and Flounder in spacesuits, which was kind of funny. They also have collector boosters arriving with Ink Dark. There are 12 premium foil cards per pack, common through epic at different levels. New rarities, new illustrations, all sorts of cool stuff. Later on in 2026, early 2027, there is a challenge season. The season of villainy. In other news, I'm pretty excited about this one. The long-awaited Kingdom Hearts project has gained momentum as Walt Disney Studios announced a new series with the original voice actors has been greenlit for Disney+. This comes alongside the release of Kingdom Hearts 4, which most notably will have several new worlds that Sora goes to, including Coco. And I think I saw Wreck-It Ralph as well, which is pretty cool.
I love that Wreck-It Ralph is getting a little bit of love. I appreciate that he's finally getting some love because I feel like he is not prior. So it's exciting.
Kingdom Hearts 4 will release October 8th, 2026 on all of the consoles, including the Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X. It will not arrive to PC, unfortunately, until 2027. But it is available for pre-order and wishlist.
Very cool. In that similar news, lots of new movies were announced. Now, some of these were already kind of previously announced, but they kind of reiterated or gave some more details on. So, Hexed will be coming out on November 25th of this year. Avengers Doomsday will be coming out on December 18th of this year. Bluey will be released next August. And I think I'm just so used to the 2D drawings that the 3D animation is throwing me off, but it does look very cute. Frozen 3 will be released around Thanksgiving of next year. I saw the little trailer that they did, and Anna and Kristoff get married, so hopefully you get to see a little bit of that, but it looks really cute. And then something that I'm super, super excited about, my favorite princess is Rapunzel, so she is getting her live action, and that will be released, Tangled, obviously, for anyone that doesn't know Rapunzel. It will be released on March 31st of 2028, so I've got quite a while to get that ready and wait for that. And then Lilo and Stitch 2, I'm assuming this is like the second live action.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. There's already a Lilo and Stitch 2.
Yeah, so I'm assuming it's live action.
Yeah.
Will be May 26th of 2028. Incredibles 3 will be June 16th of 2028. Coco 2 was announced for November 2029, and then Zootopia 3 was announced, but there was no, it was just a coming soon, so I don't know.
Some new shows that are debuting. There is the continuation of the Imagineering story. It's simply called Imagineering Story 2. It will be released in 2028. Man, that's far off. But basically, it's the continued story of the Walt Disney Imagineers, how they've been creating, designing, engineering for nearly 75 years at Walt Disney Studios and parks, doing all kinds of creative projects.
Yeah. I really enjoy watching these. The Imagineering and then the behind the attractions are ones we really like to watch. And when they said 2028, my heart kind of sunk a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
it's okay.
It's a long way off.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we have Percy Jackson Season 3. Enough said. Then we have the brand new show coming up, Cars and Lightning Racers. This is it. They described it as a preschool animated series. Does that just mean the cars are really young and it's geared more towards
I,
younger children?
I'm just wondering if it's like shorter series, more simple plot. Because I mean, the movies themselves are for not maybe not preschoolers, but for kids. So it can't be that drilled down.
The show includes Lightning McQueen, of course, Mater, and two brand new characters, Pipes and Miles. One is a monster truck, the other is a tricked out car.
So that was it as far as like video games and shows, and then now we're gonna get into parks. So there was not a whole lot actually for Disneyland, besides just Disneyland Park, I guess I should say. There was quite a bit for California Adventure. But Remember Dreams Come True nighttime show will be re-debuting in February. This was premiered at Disneyland Resort's 50th anniversary, so not too long ago, but should be really cool to see that come back. And then Magic Happens is coming back in the summer. I don't know why this was announced. I kind of guess I assumed that Magic Happens would come back because that's their standard parade. So I kind of figured after the 70th anniversary was over, Magic Happens would come back, but this was announced. And then a teaser of Tomorrowland being reimagined, but nothing really said about it, just that it's going to be reimagined. And then, like I said, California Adventure did get a little bit more announcements. So the OG World of Color is coming back in February to kind of coincide when Remember Dreams Come True is also coming back. So that's kind of nice to have some two shows come back that people haven't been able to see for a while.
California Adventure is getting a new mix of rides as well, including the Coco ride. This apparently ties the first and second movie together. I'm not sure how.
Yeah, they made an announcement of that they're tying the first and the second together, but then when they went through what the ride was going to be, it mostly seems like it's just the first, like a retelling of the first.
Yeah.
So, unless that's what the second one's about, I don't know.
Maybe. The movie takes place a year after the original movie ended.
And then the queue is supposed to be a museum to Hector, so it's kind of going to be a museum entrance, and then the actual ride itself is a boat ride where you're going to be visiting the land of the dead through Miguel's memory. So it looks to be fun. I am a little hesitant on when this is going to be opening. They've already started building this, but when it says that Coco 2 isn't coming out until 2029,
yeah,
and this is supposed to bridge the gap between 1 and 2, it makes me feel like maybe this isn't going to come out as soon as we hope, but we shall see.
At Avengers Campus, we have the Avengers Infinity Defense ride. That's a mouthful. Miss Marvel will be briefing briefing you at the beginning of this ride. It looks like a lot like Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot, with different jumps to different places and ride vehicles that kind of throw you around and stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely, when I saw the jump points that they were talking about, I was like, oh, this looks a lot like Guardian.
We also have Stark Flight Labs, which is a Avengers training glide. Looks like a gyrosphere from Jurassic World. It's like a glass ball with a metal shell, like a unibody around it.
And the pictures that they showed, you're sitting in this and looking at a TV screen, and then you can see people walking by on the walkway. So I don't know how, unless that's like when you get on and then it takes you, because it says that you go through this full like simulated flight of like what it would be like to be a flying Avenger. So I don't know if maybe you start there and then move on, but I feel like that's going to take me out of it if I'm like seeing a bunch of people walking around.
Sure.
But we shall see.
Yeah, both attractions open in 2028.
Mm. Seems far, but I'm sure it'll be here fast. Now we're going to kind of take it over to other parts of the country. So we're going to start at Paris. Paris just got a huge redoing with the world of Frozen and all the things going on over there. But they did say that the OG Space Mountain is coming back. So that's exciting. So hyperspace is on its way out. And then the Lion King ride, we got a little bit of a sneak peek. It's going to be themed to the first original movie, so following that storyline. But then they have really enhanced the Simba's confrontation with Scar at the very end, and I guess have really fleshed out that scene and made it a little bit longer. So that should be pretty cool. Looks like they're trying to pull into that villain aspect over there as well.
What does that mean? The OG version is coming
I'm assuming
back?
it's just like the first one, like Lion King, not
No,
2
no,
or
no.
the show
Space
or
Mountain.
Oh, so it was just Space Mountain, which it's in French. I can't remember what it is, and then it became Hyperspace Mountain, and then Hyperspace Mountain just stayed forever. So Hyperspace Mountain was permanent over there, whereas at Disneyland it's like only during Season of the Force.
Oh, it's
And
a
now
Star
they're-
Wars. Got it.
Yeah, but
Got
now
it.
they're completely bringing the OG back. They're
Okay.
getting rid of hyperspace.
Got it.
So.
So over at Tokyo Disneyland, they are getting a new Space Mountain, which is pretty cool.
Space seems to be a trend.
They are also, and I'm jealous of this, they are getting a Wreck-It Ralph ride named Sugar Rush Sweet Rescue. Supposedly it is a kind of like as if you're racing, like a racing ride.
Yeah.
Where you're on one of the tracks in Sugar Rush.
I don't know why we can't do that in Disney World. See, I mean, in Disneyland, Autopia is very squarely in Tomorrowland. Like, it's hard to pull that apart. But Tomorrowland Speedway is on the edge of Tomorrowland. Like, why can't we just morph Tomorrowland Speedway and Cosmic Rays into Fantasyland? Rechange Tomorrowland Speedway to be Wreck-It Ralph themed. So, and then just make Tomorrowland Speedway a Wreck-It Ralph themed, make Cosmic Rays something Wreck-It Ralph themed as well. And then now it's part of Fantasyland. I don't know why we can't have that here, but whatever. Over in Hong Kong, they're going to be an updated Stark Expo with an updated Adventures area as well. They didn't go into a whole lot about it, but it's definitely, they really want to talk about how it's going to be updated and made bigger. And then over in Shanghai, there's going to be a Spider-Man roller coaster with everything themed to Spider-Man, with the new home of Web being over there. And I cannot remember the acronym of Web, but something about experimental something.
I don't know, but they really seem to like.
Well, I guess Spider-Man is loved over in Shanghai. So now taking it over to Disney World.
Back over in our neck of the woods at Animal Kingdom, the animatronic Yeti is coming back to
Everest.
Expedition Everest. They're also adding additions to the Tropical Americas area. That includes Indiana Jones and the Myth of the Jade Serpent, as well as an Encanto section. This El Carrusel de los Animalitos. Basically, carousel of animals. It'll have Disney characters embodied into carousel animals.
Yeah, it looks really cute. It looks like a lot of the animals you would have seen in Encanto, just kind of in
It also has Hey Hey from
Oh, it
Moana.
does?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see Hey Hey. That's cute.
It'll also have Antonio's Fiesta de El Encanto.
So this is at the Casita. So, but the ride vehicles look really cool. It reminds me of like when the house falls apart and all the doors come together and stuff. It looks like from the Doors. But it does look very similar to like Mickey and Minnie's ride, where it's going to be trackless, things like that. This is another place that I was really disappointed. I feel like Animal Kingdom has been under construction forever. Like a year and a half. It feels like a long time. And then now, The carousel is pretty much the same as what was over there already. Indiana Jones is just repurposed of dinosaur. So the only real new ride over there is the Casita ride. And so I was really hoping we'd get a opening date or at least a spring of this or a summer of this. So to get nothing was kind of disappointing, especially just to see how much work's already gone into it. But it's okay. Animal Kingdom will be in its full glory again. And then over at Magic Kingdom, we did get a opening date for Carousel of Progress. It's going to be late spring of 2027. And those timelines have obviously been altered. So now what am I trying to say? The decades are going to be 60s, 80s, 1999, which seems very specific, and then future. So we got some information about Piston Peak. There's going to be 2 rides. So Miss Fritter's Daredevil Spin, which reminds me a lot of Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. And then you're going to have Cars Ridge Run Rally, which they really talked about how this is going to be like off-roading. So like dirt. And then it even says you go up into like the Piston Peak mountain where there's going to be snow and stuff. So I'm interested to see how that continues to develop. And then Villains Land, the long-awaited Villains Land, the 3 characters that really got a lot of airtime were Dr. Facilier, the Evil Queen, and Cruella. The Evil Queen I'm really excited about because I don't feel like she gets a lot of
hype.
Hype. There you go. Whereas Dr. Facilier and Cruella, I feel like they've gotten a lot of hype lately. So, Evil Queen. But then they did say 2 confirmed rides. One's going to be a coaster with Maleficent and the Enchanted Forest. And then there's going to be a water ride that goes into the deep, dark parts of Evil Queen's palace. And the Enchanted Mirror, I missed a lot of what he said, but like the Enchanted Mirror is going to basically release a bunch of villains. And then they brought out Cruella, and she kept talking about how she wanted her own ride. So I don't know if they're teasing that or if that was just entertainment factor, but that does sound pretty cool.
Over at Epcot, Spaceship Earth is getting a nice, clean refresh. There will be technological advancements to it. There will be aesthetic advancements to it. I believe also a new hydraulic system.
Very cool.
Additionally, and I didn't know I had to look this up, but Dreamfinder is coming back to Epcot at the Journey of Imagination with Figment. If you don't know, as I didn't before, Dreamfinder is a top hat wearing crazy man who is a counterpart to Figment.
Yep. I never saw the original ride, or never rode, I guess I should say, so I'm interested to see. I know a lot of people say that the new, what Figment is now, is not as good, so I'm interested to see what Dreamfinder brings.
Dreamfinder is from 1988, apparently.
Yeah, long time. And then probably the most robust announcement was Monstropolis over in Hollywood Studios. They're going to have a Glob Theater with a Welcome to Monstropolis show where Mike Wazowski will be trying to put on a show. Sounds like he's going to get into a little bit of trouble. Then you're going to have Archie's Scare Pig Pizza. If someone can help me understand where Scare Pig came from, I do not know, but they said it very enthusiastically, so I feel like I'm supposed to know what that is. And then you're going to have a Scareporium, which is a store, Monsters University Alumni Club, and Elite Scarers Club. I don't know what that's supposed to be, unless it's supposed to be like a lounge. He talked about it for a little bit, but he talked about more like the backstory of it, like what it's supposed to be in the story timeline, and not like what it actually is. So I'm interested to see more information about that. And then Harryhausen's is going to be a big draw that's going to be hard to get some advanced dining reservations for. Harryhausen is the restaurant in the first movie where the big octopus is doing all the...
the hibachi place? Okay.
And Cecilia gets all mad, and her snakes hiss. Yeah.
Got it.
So I'm looking forward to having to get that advanced dining reservation for clients, because it's going to be a beast. And then they said that the land that I just explained is going to be open in 2027. They did not give a date, just 2027. So that technically could be December 31st of 2027. But the door coaster, the big attraction, will be opening later. So I'm hoping 2028, not like 2 years later. That's Hollywood Studios.
I'm out of all of that, I am mostly excited for the door coaster.
Yeah, I know. So when they said that that wasn't going to be open for a while, but they're building that from ground up. There was no ride over in the Muppets area, so they're having to like completely from the ground up build that ride. So, yeah.
And there was a little bit of exciting news from Disney Cruise Line. They will be doubling cruises in the port of San Diego for both the Magic and the Wonder.
Well, they didn't say the Magic and the Wonder. They just said doubling, and then I believe she said year round. Maybe she didn't say year round. Maybe that's just my assumption. But I know she said they're doubling the amount of cruises in the port of San Diego. So part of me wonders if that's just going to be that the Magic and the Wonder are going to simultaneously run the same itineraries, basically. Like, because now the Magic and the Wonder are both up in Alaska. So it would make sense to have them both just kind of do the same thing. So San Diego to Alaska, San Diego to Alaska. But it does make me once again wonder what in the world is coming to Galveston. So I'm hoping it's the Dream and the Fantasy. I'm hoping it's the Wish, if I'm going to be real honest. But
yeah.
But if not, the Dream and the Fantasy would be awesome.
That makes sense, because logistically it wouldn't make any sense to make those ships go all the way down to the Panama Canal to then be able to transfer from the Pacific to the Atlantic.
Right. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but hopefully we'll find out. I'm hoping fall of 2027 will be announced soon, and we'll find out, because the Wish is coming back from Europe at that time. So I'm hoping that means that she will be hitting up Galveston, because we live pretty close to Galveston. So that would be nice to get back on that beautiful Wish. So, and then some stuff came out about the Believe, which is going to be the next Wish class.
Tinkerbell will be illustrated on the bow. That's the front of the ship.
Yes.
Moana is the statue in the main hall. And then Toy Story, that's Woody and Buzz, will be drawn out, and basically statues, not statues, but like emplacements on the back of the ship.
Yeah, I mean, they're statues, I would assume. Yeah. They're big.
Yeah.
I'm struggling with this. I love that it's Toy Story, but they have made them where like they have crayons and markers in their hand, and they're the ones that wrote Believe. And my uniform brain is really struggling because it's a different font than all the other ships. So I'll get over it. But when I saw that, I was like, surely that's not done yet. But they made a point to say like they're the ones drawing it with markers. So I'll get over it. But and then just very briefly, we're teased about the new class of ship, which are going to be smaller than the Wish class, but bigger than the Dream or the Magic and the Wonder, which sounds a lot to me like the Dream and the Fantasy size, but I guess smaller than that. And that will not be debuting until 2029, so we have some time to learn about that. But that's a long time. If we've got the Believe in 2027, we won't have another ship for 2 years.
Yeah.
So have a little bit of break time. I guess 2028 is going to be the year that we finally get over to Singapore to check out the adventure, because there won't be a new ship here in the States. So 2028.
Yeah, my wallet can swallow the actual cruise itself. It's the plane tickets.
It's the plane tickets,
to get to Singapore.
Well, the issue here is that I think of it as like a value. So if I'm going to fly all the way there, I'm going to do a whole lot of things there. And you're like, no, that just hurts my wallet even more. So I'm already thinking we're probably going to do 2 back-to-back cruises on the adventure to get a full week on the ship. And we might take some jets over to like maybe Hong Kong Disneyland, or, you know, they've got a Singapore Universal.
But they're nowhere near each other.
But a flight from Singapore to Hong Kong is going to be a lot cheaper than here to Hong Kong.
Alrighty.
Anyway. So that is everything we learned this year at this year's D23 Expo. I'm sure there is stuff we missed. That seminar, seminar is not the right word, but it was very quick, very fast paced. I felt like I was having to rewind a lot to get all the information. So I'm sure we missed something, but I am happy to announce that I have been teased and questioned long enough on why we don't do news on this podcast, and I have been toying with the idea of not here on the podcast but on our YouTube channel doing a like weekly news wrap up for all the destinations that we focus on. and just having that come out each week, so that way you can have a place to get your news, but it doesn't have to clog up our podcast time. So I'm still toying with the idea, but I'm getting more intrigued the more people ask for it. So
would we still have an audio version of that weekly update on?
Yeah, maybe I can just make it like a live podcast and still do YouTube. We'll see. Like I said, we're still toying with the idea, but a lot of people have asked for it, so we'll see.
If you've learned something new, share this episode with a friend and hit the subscribe or follow button, depending on what platform you are listening from. Leave us a 5-star review if you can. This helps us reach even more Disney lovers. Until next time, I'm Chad.
And I'm Kirsten. Happy travels from all your ports to palaces.
This podcast is sponsored by Ports and Palaces Vacations. Whether you are wanting to check out a new port along a cruise line or see the palaces of Disney and Universal, our travel advisors make your dream trip a reality. Your next trip is just a click away.